And, as a great NFL player and now ambassador for the league, do you have any particular advice for young athletes in terms of, being protective of their mental health and ultimately also using mental fitness and resilience to become better players and better athletes?
The good thing now is that there's an awareness around mental health for our young athletes coming along. So there is a general awareness, but the challenges are that these kids are dealing with so much more than what I dealt with at that age. When you have a social media account, you have a media company. There's so much that you're responsible for, and I think sometimes kids get overwhelmed by the things that they engage in, and there's so much information out there. So we're really dealing with a different kind of a beast than we were 20 years ago. But I think you hit on it. I think if you can give young athletes or just young people some tools for resiliency, just some ways to be able to bounce back and to deal with some things, just giving them a toolkit of some go-to things that can kind of not let a small mental health bell that's ringing turn into a 5 alarm fire. I think sometimes if you just have some of those resiliency skills in your toolkit, you can head off a big problem. Not to say that at some point you won't need help down the road, but at least maybe it can set the stage and maybe you recognize that you need help a little bit sooner. Like I always tell my kids and, the young people that I meet that life is hard, and for my daughters, somewhere along the way, someone's going to hurt you. Somewhere along the way, someone may say something that you don't like, but you're in control of how you want to feel about that. You're in control on whether or not you want to put that in your suitcase of life and carry that around. So from the time my kids were young, and, we're riding in their car and they're talking about all different kinds of things. And sometimes I would just say, hey, don't put that in your suitcase of life, and it was just my way of being able to open the door to a conversation and saying, do you really want to feel bad about that? Or do you want to meet that head on? You have an opportunity right now to take that out of your suitcase and, and travel a little lighter. So I think for the kids today, I think
Lighter, absolutely.
resiliency is a practice that's so underutilized today, so underutilized. And we just really need to, help our kids and help these young people understand that there's ways to cope out there and give them those skills to cope.
Absolutely. I think you touched on it great. I think what we talk about all the time is a couple ways to build resilience is doing mindfulness practices, which you spoke brilliantly about trying to maintain focus during the game, maintaining a well-balanced life, which you did, and then having gratitude, which is kind of your analogy with the suitcase. Only let things in that are things that are positive or things that are going to push you towards your goals. So I think you're touching on all the things that we love to talk about.
That's right.
To